I am pretty certain that this is going to be the best angle to record all of this that I'm about to say. So, before it starts feeling weird, I really want this to be a bit more relaxed version of whatever the fuck I usually make, because for a while now, I've wanted to get back into making videos. However, every time I would turn it on or off, I would try to turn the camera on and off. I would just keep trying to go based on whatever the hell I had prepared, and therefore it would feel very generic, and it wouldn't really feel true to myself. And therefore, I guess I would make it easier if I could just record it continuously and not really think about what I'm gonna say next too much. And yeah, a lot of stuff has happened. I just realized it. I fucked up there. The tense. A lot of stuff has happened. And I normally would divide the videos into very short form and post it on whatever, on TikTok, on Instagram, and on YouTube Shorts. However, this time I'm not gonna do it because I have realized that these platforms are not really, I don't think they're that good for this type of content, simply because it's left-leaning, and left-leaning content does not really go well with anything that goes well on these platforms, yeah? And therefore, I do believe making these forms of videos is much better for me, considering the fact that I also want to create an audience for myself that is not based on shorts or short form content, because usually that type of audience is only likes short form content and not the long form. And so I can only catch your attention or get your attention by doing the most, I don't know, either drama or just whatever the fuck in front of the camera in order to keep you entertained as a human, because I guess that's exactly what the algorithm wants from me. I do not want to do that, simply because it feels like I'm making a monkey out of myself every time. And after that, the views, naturally, they weren't bad. Usually, I mean, considering I have like 200 followers on Instagram, yeah? So, making it 1.8k usually is like pretty decent to me. And knowing that likes don't really matter anymore, because people who like stuff don't usually like it as like press the button, and I don't do that either. So I don't even know when's the last time I actually liked something that wasn't like personal to me, meaning my friends and stuff. I don't usually like content randomly on Instagram or anywhere online, really. And therefore, I look more at shares and reposts. Those were like a few. However, I still believe that the platforms are not really built well for this, simply because what I'm saying is more normal, more basic, and not really something that catches your attention immediately and keeps you entertained for a long time, yeah? And even if some of the videos did well, meaning the percentage of people who actually watched them and watched the whole video was higher, Instagram still wouldn't push them further than 1.8k views. Which kind of feels, I don't know, like how do you just push it to 1.8 or 1.7k views, like almost every video, and then like that's it. Like, what is that? Kind of feels just not genuine, just feels terrible. And so I'm back to making this long form content. So that part of what I did, these videos, these short videos, they were just a way for me to get back into it, because it always felt like insane to make a long form video, because in my head I had nothing to talk about, and I needed some kind of a boost in order to get this thing going. Because if I do not, because the first step is always the hardest, yeah, and that's exactly what I wanted to do, because it felt like, even though I wanted to make a long form content video, making 20 minutes talking about something requires that creativity to be there, and I was lacking that creativity in the beginning, yeah. So short form really solved it for me. But now that I'm back in the game, I would actually, because now I have a lot of ideas to talk about stuff, and so now that I'm back in it, I can finally let go of the short form and just focus on the stuff I wanted to do, which is the long form content, which is the audience I want to establish, the long form content watchers. Since short form content doesn't really help anybody, or at least doesn't really show you the full picture of stuff that's either going on, or whatever the person might want to say, or what the person is actually like. Just a quick shot, a view into whatever the fuck I create for a 10-second video is not really the whole picture. You cannot really... You cannot... You get it. Like, you get it. You cannot read me properly. So I've prepared a few things that I want to talk about. And at first I thought I would make a short form videos out of them, which is a few notes that, considering the fact that so much stuff has been happening recently, and I feel like it's like this every time when Donald Trump is president. You kind of just have shit going on constantly. And I remember this from all the way back from his first term. It was the fear of Third World War happening was on a weekly basis. And the truth be told, it was not as bad as it is now. I mean, I was younger, so I don't really remember it that good. But, because I also wasn't really fully online back then yet. However, I remember being constantly scared of Third World War happening, which is not a healthy way to live your life, yeah? And now that it's been happening again, this feels like such a constant flow of content, like ideas going through my head of topics to talk about, because the administration keeps lying constantly about everything, about every fucking thing that exists, yeah? So if you had to go and fact check every single point they say, it would be an endless job for someone to actually do this. And therefore, a few things that I wanted to talk about actually were something that caught my attention, yeah, for the past few weeks. And yeah, let's share it then, because I have it written down. And the first thing is that I have a feeling that Trump is actually more left than MAGA themselves. First and foremost. Okay. Second, he actually doesn't know what the fuck is going on in the administration anymore. And the way I want to back this up is when the video of Renee Good, the woman who was killed in the car by an ICE agent, came out, Donald Trump really just posted a post on Truth Social saying that she was the domestic terrorist, or whatever the hell it was precisely back then. But then when he had a press conference, he really didn't know what happened, because he didn't see the video, and after seeing the video and watching it with the, I think it was with the reporters, I might be wrong on that one, he actually visibly changed his opinion on it. And I guess then he went back to the original one, because I guess the dementia is kicking in and the investors are also kicking in. And this is like where my opinion on he doesn't really know what the fuck is going on anymore is coming from. This alongside the fact that there's so many people in that administration that seem to have their own agendas. Because here's how I read Donald Trump. I read Donald Trump in a way of, how would I say this? I read him as someone who's a classist. He doesn't give a fuck about anyone who is not rich. And he only cares, or powerful, yeah? Because that's a different class of humans. And he only gives a fuck about you if he believes that you have something to offer to him. Might there be a racism? I believe there is a racist layer in all of this. Truly, I do. However, I do not believe it's as big as the classist one. Because he definitely hates poor people. Okay? Without a doubt. Way more than he hates black people or anybody else. Okay? And the people around him, they seem to be more of racists than he himself is. Or at least openly racist than he himself. One perfect example of an absolutely dog shit person is Steve Bannon. Now, this dude has been old for more than I have been alive. So I cannot really tell you exactly what the hell this dude has done. All I know, and I can tell you, that is that he was a PR manager for Jeffrey Epstein. Which already should put you in a category of evil of its own. Because how the fuck you gonna be a fucking PR manager to a world-class pedophile? That's crazy. Openly saying how you need to make his image, public image, better. What the fuck? Already absolutely diabolical. Plus all of his comments that he openly makes on internet are just diabolical. Okay? So that's the first person. The second person is fucking Peter Thiel, which I don't even think is like in the administration itself. But he does have quite a lot of influence because he was the one who, I believe, not only helped Trump, but also allowed J.D. Vance to get into the position that he is in. And that's evil by itself, yeah? However, the second part of this is the Palantir part, okay? Which is his company. And this company is a goddamn data collection company, as far as if I understand it correctly. And that's already the evil part. But the more evil part is he has a deal with the government. Thankfully, he has a guy there or two, right? That says that ICE agents are supposed to use the program, the Palantir program, to help them deport other people. Which is diabolical if it wasn't also using like AI face data scans and stuff to help people acquire information about other people. Just basically the shit that they were accusing China of doing, yeah? And that would be like the first part of the evil, but the second part of the evil is that it's not accurate. It's like genuinely low accuracy technology, and so this shit sucks, and you can see it on the stock, which recently went, I mean, you cannot see that by itself on the stock, but the stock seems to be heading downwards, which, like, I'm so fucking happy about, seeing these evil companies go down. There's so many that I'm already hoping they would just die out and just dissolve. I don't think this is gonna happen that soon. However, back to my main point, which was the Palantir is already evil. And then on top of it, the CEO is like the one person that I'm actually scared of when it comes to anyone. I'm the most scared of Peter Thiel, yeah? I mean, he's up there with Putin and who else? Who else could be a third one I'm scared of? Putin, Peter Thiel. I'm kind of scared of Steve Bannon, okay? I have to admit, because just the way he looks, I don't think a good thing can come out of a person looking like that. And if yes, then whoa, I'm happy, but boy, the looks kind of confirm the personality, okay? Let me just say that. I also have a note here saying TikTok purchase, but I'm not really sure what the fuck I meant by it. Okay, I got it. Recently, I've released a video on Gaza, or New Gaza, that talks about, where I talk about how I hate people, or like I'm gonna call bomb threats on people who go to New Gaza if they actually go through that plan, because they were planning on rebuilding Gaza into some sort of a futuristic investment, hospitality, just city, basically on the bodies of dead people. And also, that video I posted coincidentally during the same time that TikTok had been purchased by Larry Ellison, which is another billionaire, another supporter of Donald Trump, and another Israel supporter. And so I posted that video. I saw that the video got 0 views, and I wondered, why did that happen? And then coincidentally, during the same time, I read that apparently in the US, this was supposed to be in the US, people started banning political videos. Not people. TikTok started banning political videos by people because they like now go against the terms of service or whatever. And they also blocked in chat mentions of Jeffrey Epstein or a Zionist. This is a very strong light. Hopefully everything will be visible. Whoa, that's a strong ass light. Anyways, if the footage sucks, that's on me, but I have to do this without stopping. So let's see. Damn! The battery of the receiver is almost dead. Okay, let's get this really quickly done. So, during the same time I posted a video, it was bought, and my video got 0 views, even though it was supposed to be just the US. Now the Epstein part was like mentions of Epstein and Zionism in the chat, in like the DMs on TikTok, were not censored. However, the video itself was. And basically what I meant by it is that was another demotivation coming to me from TikTok. And I don't really have... I had already not been using it back then. And now, after all this happened, I am fully certain I am just not going to use it, and I might as well just delete it. Because I only use it for captions, because it's very easy to add captions to a video when you post it on TikTok. Fuck it, at this point, like, there's no reason, yeah? So that's the second one. The third one is something I urge you to look up, which is absolutely hilarious and a proof that MAGA people, most of them, are still just disinformed. And it's not their fault. They're just dumb people, sadly. They're just dumb people, and dumb people fall victim, even smart people fall victim to any kind of nonsense online or in the world in general. But dumb people are even more inclined to actually fall victim, and therefore MAGA is in that category. So, MAGA for Mamdani is something that has been happening recently, yeah? And that's absolutely so hilarious, considering the fact that Mamdani is a leftist, he's a socialist, he's actually a communist, I would say. He does seem like a communist to me. And there's people who support him because he started doing stuff for community. And they refuse to believe that he's a socialist. However, everything he does is socialist. And so basically, these people, they have MAGA hats, but the MAGA hats say MAGA for Mamdani. So this is another proof of how the disinformation campaign actually works in the world, and it only, like, of course it works. That's why they spend so much money on it. However, this is the first time in my life where I see it clearly how much of an influence these parties have because of this, because of just spreading the misinformation. Just pay for it, and out of 100,000 people who are going to watch the video, 1,000 people will believe it. And that's sometimes more enough, because they might be willing to vote for you more. Diabolical. So as I said, disinformed people supporting Mamdani, and yeah, that's crazy just to think about it even. And another point, let me actually check the recording if there's not too much. 21 minutes, all right. We're doing pretty good time-wise. Let me actually correct it. Okay, hopefully I have enough battery left for the last batch of information. AI has brought nothing but misery upon us so far. So this is the one thing that also was on my mind. AI, when it first came out, it was supposed to be this best thing that is supposed to solve our very hardest issues that we have. And it was supposed to solve cancer and everything. And now all I see, it has done nothing but make GPUs and RAM prices go absolutely skyrocket high. Made people who are already mentally unwell even more mentally unwell by using ChatGPT. That just confirms all your, you get me, all the bullshit you already have in your head. And the fact that I know people personally who treat ChatGPT as a partner on a daily basis is already diabolical, okay? So if I know them personally, that means this is a normal thing that just people do. And holy fuck, that's scary. So, yeah, fuck that. What was my point actually? Damn, I went so far I completely forgot about what So it has brought nothing but the misery upon us, yeah? And now people are like addicted to it. They cannot stop using it. And where does this lead? There are studies at this point that show that you just have a much worse cognitive skills. Your brain is literally dying if you use these things for like an average thinking, as like an average thinking process alternative. You're supposed to think logically. You're supposed to just have hard stuff in your brain that you have to solve. Not use ChatGPT for fucking everything. Like the thing is very good to be used for very difficult things. Like for instance, you need to, I don't know, you don't care about taxes, so you use it for like a tax return form. It helps you with your tax returns. Yeah, I get that. That's a skill set that you need to learn for a bit, I guess. I don't know. I never had problems with it, but I understand that people might. So use ChatGPT for it. I get it. Okay, it saves you time. But to use it for like a normal average day decision, as like a daily decision maker device, is absolutely crazy. It's not like this should not be happening. I have no idea what the fuck happened in the last few years, but I have a feeling we all died in 2019 or 2020. And this is not real life. This is just absolutely crazy. Yeah. So, and then you think about that there are supposed to be things to save us from all of this, and they're completely useless. Like the biggest failure in the US right now has to be being an FBI or CIA agent. Like your entire work right now is to create like a honeypot operation where you lure people, make them do crimes so that you can put them in prison. Like no internal fighting, nothing. They all work for billionaires and pedophiles. That's absolutely crazy. Now, I am happy about Europe slowly but surely removing itself from the grasp of the US. Will that actually happen? Now, that's the question. It might be the best thing for the EU. Okay, we already are trying to push. I've read this somewhere that EU is trying to push some sort of EU versions of apps, and also connect EU in a sense so that it's easier to create business here and not just have it be a bureaucratic hell like it is right now, because all the countries have different laws and you need to like abide by them. And so let's hope that happens. Hey, I think that's it so far. Whew. Let's see. What's the timing? 26 and 27 minutes of recording. So I'm gonna stop it now. And damn, what the fuck? That shit was bad. What the fuck? The camera okay? Fuck.